Hello everybody, welcome to the JB&I Show. I am your host, Isaac the Fire Hawk Middleton. And if you're celebrating a birthday today, this month, or this week, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you and many more birthdays, okay? And if you're celebrating an anniversary, oh yeah, 1 month anniversary, 20 years anniversary, 50 years anniversary, oh yeah, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to you, and of course, many more anniversaries, all right, yeah. All right, welcome. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 8010AZ. Yeah, it's me, the Fire Hawk, and welcome to the JB&I Show. Today we're going to be talking about Wheel of Time. We have a lot to discuss. We're going to talk about Wheel of Time, and I am going to throw in a conversation in regard to my fitness, keeping you up to par and keeping myself honest, you know what I'm saying? Because I can definitely, exaggerate and such like that, but I'm not going to do that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it. Alright, so for those y'all don't know me, I am 8010AZ, Isaac M. the Fire Hawk, Isaac Middleton, you know what I'm saying? And it's a pleasure and an honor to be here today and just be able to talk with you guys and such like that. I'm having little issues with my camera, but it's okay. The show is going to go on regardless. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So with that being said, we're going to be talking about Wheel of Time today. It's one of my favorite shows. It's an Amazon original series. It was based off of a book, and I have a couple of different, takes on why it was canceled. Now, if you haven't heard yet, yes, it's been canceled. It only has 3 seasons, and the 3rd season, in my opinion, was pretty good. Because the Forsaken is loose in the world, and the heroes of light have to chart their own course. You know what I'm saying? They have to figure it out as they go. How the saying goes, build the plane while you fly it, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And they got to muster up their strength to keep on going. They don't have a blueprint, y'all. You know what I mean? So they got to face the darkness themselves and within themselves, all right? And somehow come out victorious. That was the basis of season 3. Now, I think that was great. I mean, personally, you know what I mean? I think it was really good. I think that Wheel of Time in general did really well. So when they did announce the cancellation of Wheel of Time, I really was surprised. I was trying to think of a word. I was like, yeah, I really was, bewildered, trying to figure out why did they do it? Why did they do it? But I was really surprised that they canceled Wheel of Time. All right. And it was popular, in my opinion. And I was looking through some of the Wikipedia and Google and such like that. Wheel of Time is both popular as a book, because Wheel of Time is a book, and a series. The book was written by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson, looks like. All right, and the live action version was the adaptation of the book. Developed by Rafi Jenkins for Amazon Prime Video, right? So it's Amazon original. So my thoughts on this, or my take on this is when you get a book series that's popular, they're gonna make either a TV show out of it, or they're gonna make it into a movie, like Game of Thrones as an example, right? So if they do that, it creates this following because the people who read the book want to see the movie. I know I was that way. I am that way. I want to see what the movie's about, and how closely they follow the book. Now, some cases, depending on the person, you might see them like they want to follow the book verbatim, and that's not necessarily the right thing to follow the book verbatim, in some cases they can't, depending on how the author feels and what the author or authors want to the story they want to tell in live action, and if they're available to be there for the development of the project. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something. All of that plays a part into the creation of the series or the movie. In this case, it's the series. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw season one, I was skeptical about it. I was like, okay, so where they're going with this? I was unaware that it was a book. I did not know it was a book. I didn't learn it was a book until later on. So it's my fault. I didn't know it was a book until later on. Now, once I found out it was a book, I did kind of skim through the book. I didn't read in its entirety, so my admission on that. But I did think it was okay. Now, as far as it following the book, I think it did good. You know what I'm saying? And so when it came out, the big headline, Wheel of Time series has been canceled by Prime Video after season 3, after 3 seasons. The decision came after lengthy deliberation. So from what I'm reading or gathering, it wasn't we just got to drop this like a hot potato type of thing. They had to go and deliberate on it. And unfortunately, it seemed like Wheel of Time did not have enough viewership or or whatever they needed to keep it going. So I'm gonna say financial reasons. I do feel like it had the viewership. I watched it. I mean, I didn't watch it when it first came out because of my schedule, but I'll go back and look at it. And I thought that the actors and actresses in it did a really good job. It definitely kept me engaged to the show. And it received positive critical reception, and it had strong viewership, but so I was kind of surprised that they kind of stepped away from that, even though it was doing good. It was doing good. It could have also been a creative thing, while executive always look for the financial aspects of stuff. Viewers look for the creativeness, the storyline. That's what we watch it for. And so I guess between the two, maybe they couldn't come up with a good continuous storyline. And that sounds kind of crazy because it's based off of a book, so you could just kind of follow the book, even though you may not follow it verbatim. It's something that you could, the book is right there. Check it out. I don't know. And this is what my other thought was: is it possible that Wheel of Time can get picked up by another network because it was an Amazon original? Now, would it be feasible to maybe see like Netflix might can pick it up? Maybe, because it's Amazon, but Amazon can rent it out to Netflix. I mean, Marvel rented stuff to Netflix, so they got it back though. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking forward to seeing Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? but they were in Netflix, and so they're bringing them in the MCU now. So I was wondering if it would be a feasible thing for Amazon to lend their this show to Netflix. That's the hope. And but I mean, if it's not being shopped around by anyone, by any of the producers or showrunners or even Amazon itself, we might not see it at another uh, network such as Amazon or whatever. I said Amazon. I meant to say Netflix. And so, like, that's one of the things that I was looking at as far as Wheel of Time goes. And I was, in all that, they did not, make an attempt to, shop it to somewhere else because they have several series that has gone to other networks and done well. They done, decent. In some cases, may not been as good, but they done decent at their home network, and then eventually they went to a different network and done even better. And so that's what a lot of the fans are hoping that Netflix will pick it up and run with it because maybe they have a better creative team, maybe they have funding that they feel that it can do well in. That all of that is a definite possibility that could probably be something that Netflix might want to do. But the downside is if it's not being shopped out to anyone, then maybe you know it's best off to just enjoy the 3 seasons. And I say that reluctantly because I'm a fan of the show. I really do like the show. Um, and so when it came out that Wheel of Time was canceled by Amazon Prime, primarily due to financial reasons, and with viewership not justifying the show's high production costs. Now, I'm not saying that the production cost is not high because I know visual effects, special effects, and such like that by itself is expensive. And then when you're already dealing with the limited budget because it's a TV show and not a movie, so you're already dealing with the limited budget that you're trying to create stuff on a weekly basis. Yeah, you gotta look at the viewership and you gotta look at your profitability based off of all of your items such like that, the viewership and how many people is watching it, how many people are enjoying it, what people are saying about it, what people are saying good, bad, or indifferent about it. You got to look at all of that if you're like the showrunner or the producers and such like that. And so I mean, and it's a I want to say it's a period piece, but it's like a fantasy piece, which is, in my opinion, similarly the same thing because you have people that are in like costumes and stuff like that that they're dressed in a particular era type of thing. So they got like horses and um, what is it called where they have the after the um, what is that apocalypse? No, aftermath. The aftermath of whatever, and so they're dealing with that. Um, and so if it is that expensive to produce, not saying like the cost of the actors and actresses, but like the cost of the period and the visual and special effects that's being in there and such like that, because that it's a sci-fi film, so that is definitely going to be a part of it. You know, um, and they're not able, and if they're not able to figure out ways to like save money in those production costs, yeah, there's definitely going to be a adjustment. The other thing is a lot of people saying that there was a declining in viewership. Now, personally, I don't agree with that. I think the viewership was fine or solid, but maybe it wasn't the amount of viewers that they may or may not have wanted. You know, and so I think season 3 viewership was solid. I think it was good. But a lot of people said it wasn't good. A lot of people said it was declining. In each week, they had less and less viewers. And if it doesn't meet the platform's expectations in lieu of the cost of creating said thing, that would constitute it being canceled. Okay, and if they're not bringing in more subscribers as to subsidize the cost, that could also constitute it. So it's a two-tier thing. Like, if they got the viewers but they're not bringing in more subscribers, that could also cause it to be canceled. But if they have the viewers, I thought that would be good enough, but maybe not. Let me know what you guys think about that. Um, because I thought the viewership does have a role to play, but maybe they're looking at both the viewers and it bringing in more subscribers into Amazon in general. You know, because every streaming model has things that they feel will do a particular thing, or maybe the expectation was too high for it because the book's done so well, so they expected the series to do 10 times better than the book. Because like Marvel as an example, if you look at Marvel in the past, or how much money did Marvel movies make in general, and they're not living up to that norm now, but that norm that they set from back in the day is the Marvel norm, not the norm. And a lot of times people don't remember that. And so and I get it. Streaming is not like traditional television. It needs new subscribers, and it expects the producers, the network platform expect to bring in new subscribers as they renew the season. But I was thinking, I guess if they're able to keep the subscribers that they have, and the subscribers are coming back to watch the new season, maybe that would have keep the drive going. You know what I'm saying? But we live in a world of technology and data and such like that now. So a lot of decisions are data driven, of what they feel it can do or should do, and what it actually done, and what the disparity in the two are. If the disparity is greater, um, then then if the disparity is greater than what they projected, then yeah, they might cancel it because of that. Okay. Now, the streaming industry altogether is becoming increasingly data driven. Period. You know. So, and you got AI and all this other stuff as well that are help making these decisions because they can process it faster. And seeing what they want to renew and what they want to cancel. And I guess Wheel of Time just didn't add up to the thing of what they feel like it should have done, and because of that, it got canceled. I personally don't agree with it. I know I keep saying that. Now, here's one thing, and if you compare Wheel of Time to Rings of Power, because both are like sci-fi stuff that are based off of books and such like that, and it has a lot of high production costs. Um, Rings of Power were also experiencing declining viewership, you know, but it is said to be a pet project of Jeff Bezos, making it more likely to be renewed. So if Jeff Bezos is getting behind the eight ball, as it were, you know, then, Wheel of Time, then yeah, even though Ring of Power have the similar declining um, thing that Wheel of Time does, but because the owner Jeff Bezos is backing it, it's more likely that they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna renew Ring of Time because that's what the boss wants, you know. So, and They might even have something as along the line as acceptable failures. So they might have a few shows or TV series that they might can run, even though it's not what they call meeting requirements. And they, but now you can't have all your stuff doing that, but they might have leeway for like one or two shows to do that to see if they're able to turn it around or meet standards over time. That's a possibility as well if they are able to meet the criteria, as it were, that is expected of it. Now, one of the questions that I got a lot is what did the cast say in regards to um, Wheel of Time being canceled? Um, a lot of times, as you know, if you're a cast member, and you work in a job, I don't know how it went about, for Wheel of Time. I'm guessing here, okay? So they could have been like, coming to work one day. Hopefully, it didn't happen like this, but hopefully, they coming to work one day and be like, "Hey, here's your paycheck. You can go home now." I'm like, wait a minute, what? I thought we were shooting today. No, nah. You can go home. Hopefully, it didn't happen like that, but you know, um, the I believe that the cast is always going to give a shout out to the fans and express gratitude for their support and experience, on the show and such like that. Um, and if the fans, were able to rally enough to get it reinstated, I guess it would be for a new season, like season four or whatever. I mean, that might be a thing. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be anytime soon. I'm just saying. Now, and if the showrunner can, you know, convince the producers of Amazon to either renew it for fourth season or maybe pass it on to Netflix. I keep saying Netflix because Netflix seemed to be a a good option for shows that has been canceled and need new life breathe into it. You know what I'm saying? Now, some cast members maybe felt like a little disappointed, because they were looking forward to doing a new season and such like that. But from what I'm told, no season is promised unless it's already written down, and even if it's written down, it still can be canceled in the middle of the thing. That's what I'm told. So every season, every episode is a blessing. All right, that's what I'm told, and I feel like that's what most of the cast members feel. Even though they're disappointed that it was canceled, they're happy that they were able to do it and get it out there for the masses to enjoy. Um, and there are some fans that are rallying to try to save the show, as it were. You know, uh, but I don't know. You always gonna have some criticism, and you're always gonna have uh, some negative feedback. Of people that might say, "Oh, it got canceled because of this," or the storyline, or the acting, or it's too much going on at one time. They should have taken in different direction. Not saying it's true, not saying it isn't true. I'm just going to say everybody have their opinion on why it was. But in my opinion, it had a lot to do with the financial and the outlook of the expectation. Financial outlook and expectation, those three things. Financing being the major one, the creation cost compared to the profit margin. And if it's not adding up to what they want, yeah, they're going to cancel it. And it also said that some of the authors that wrote the original book series is expressing some disappointment at them being ignored by the show and its cancellation. So they felt like they wasn't in the loop, as it were, and that's very possible. When people produce something, especially if they wrote the book and taking their time to go into express detail and creating this entirety of this universe and telling you how this universe function and operates and such like that, and then they get called in a few times and they give their opinions on it, and then the show takes a left turn and they're like, wait a minute, I did not say I wanted that. But if they're not actively engaged into the creation aspect of the show, they can the Amazon in general, production people, showrunner, whomever, can take creative liberties, creative adjustments or angles that is within the realm of possibility, you know, at the dismay of the author, but it's still a realm of possibility, you know what I mean? And with that being said, that's how a lot of authors do feel. But at the same time, it's like when you're creating a live action thing, and you have other creators, other directors, other writers that are weighing in on making the visualization realistic and telling a good story at the same time and staying within budget. All of that might have some adjustments and blending and stuff that's not in the book because it's not financially capable for the book or whatever. So that's definitely possible as well. So if it's not a thing for the live action to actually produce, given the financial limitations, then that's where a lot of adjustments and story adjustments and such like that do come into play, and it's not like at the behest of the author. It's just like, hey, we got this much money, so we can't do this, which is in the book, but we can take this and take that and still tell the story, kind of, So that those adjustments had to have been made, in my opinion. And if they're already dealing with a large creation cost, yeah, they're going to definitely be looking at, okay, we need to get this money back. That's definitely going to be something that people are going to want to know. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people in the cast in general is just, happy that, the fans of the book as well as the show were able to enjoy both of it, even though they may have their particular disagreements in regards to how it should have gone. Depending on who you talk to, some will say, "Oh no, this should have happened," or "They should have dove deeper into the lost city," or "They should have," whatever. So it definitely have its debating teams on either side that will say what they expect and what they see as far as this concerns. Now, some fans do have some bring the show back campaigns going on. I think I mentioned that earlier. But as of right now, I don't see it actually coming back. That's my personal opinion. It would need either Amazon or another platform seeing the benefit of having the show there to make make money off of it. Yeah, it does unfortunately always come back down to money. I'm just saying it does. It really do. Yeah, they want to tell a good story. Yes, they want to keep you entertained, but at the same time, they want viewers and subscriptions. They want money. And if it's not producing what they feel it should, then it probably gonna go bye bye. It's gonna go away. Okay. Now, like I mentioned before, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the the season 1 and season 2, and there were aspects of the show that I was just like, wow, you know what? I if I was in her position, I never would have even thought about that. I was like, she is very creative. So yeah, that was definitely certain aspects of things. I was definitely like really like eye opening. I was like, wow, that's okay. That's wow. You know what I'm saying? So and like, season 1 and season 2 and even season 3. Um, I would hope that they would bring it back for a season 4, or maybe a new season somewhere else, Netflix. you know, and and continue the storyline. Because it's not over yet. It's not over. It's not over. All right, so let me know what you think about it. I like it. Like I said before, Wheel of Time, I like it. They have 3 seasons. It's on Amazon Prime. Hopefully, they may be able to get it to a different platform that might get it renewed, rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? And out there for you guys. All right. So next thing I want to talk about really quick before I move on, I want to give you a little backdrop. The JB&I Show is on YouTube. It has its own YouTube channel called the JB&I Show Podcast. I am the host. I am your host. And you can also find the JB&I Show on all major podcast platforms such as iHeartRadio. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Alright, so hopefully you guys are checking the JB&I Show podcast out. I'm going to be putting out a new show every week. Alright. I might skip a few weeks as we get closer to the holidays. We will be going into a hiatus. I believe it's after December. Or is after January, something like that. And if we get a new season, oh my goodness! All right, and the JB&I Show is a SAG franchise. SAG, what's it called? SAG podcast, SAG signature podcast. I get it right soon, y'all. I get it right soon. All right, so. Yeah, I just want you guys to enjoy it and stuff like that. I just want you guys to like really have a good time. And if you have any questions, opinions, or anything like that, I'm all ears. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot. I don't know everything. All right. But I want to talk about fitness for a second. You know what I'm saying? This is shout out to the Poor Man's Podcast. This is your daily reminder. Get your butt to the gym. You're not going to want to go every day, but hey, go anyway. I got my 5K. I have told myself that I'm going to do 3 5Ks per year. I spread it out throughout the course of the year, and I work out 3 to 4 times a week. My goal is to eventually work out 5 days a week, but right now I'm working out 3 to 4 times a week in conjunction with 3 to 4 times a week with a goal of working out 5 times a week in conjunction with 3 5Ks per year. This coming up on my second 5K, and I have one more to do before the end of the year, baby. I'm doing really good. I always had problems with my weight. If you're like me, you're in a constant state of flux, right? It's not just getting off the weight, it's also maintaining yourself. And that's really important, okay? That's something that I've learned, I already knew, and I do fairly well for the most part, but sometimes around the holidays, I'm just saying, if I don't plan accordingly, I will get lazy. All right, and earn back all the weight that I've diligently shed throughout the course of the year. I know that I can do it because I've done it. All right. So my encouragement to you is that you could do it too. You could lose the weight and you could keep the weight off. It's going to take planning. It's going to take consciously doing uh, what you know you can do until it becomes a habit, a good habit. Okay. But and in saying that, I know it's not going to be easy. You're going to have those days when you have cravings at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to have those days when you don't want to go to the gym, and you don't have nothing that's keeping you from going. You just don't want to go. You know, you're going to have those days, and I have those days, but you got to go anyway. You know, and you got to exercise your discipline and find alternative ways to curb your hunger. So instead of a candy bar, an apple. Yeah, you're going to want that candy bar, but eat an apple. Drink some water. Water is one of the biggest things that we really need in our body a lot. And sometimes we're dehydrated and don't even realize it. All right. There's several charts that you can look at that will show you your dehydration level and all that stuff like that, and you can look all that stuff up and everything like that. So you can hydrate, stay hydrated, and also you could take multivitamins and such to take up the gap that is left when your nutrition is low, when you're not eating what you should be eating. All right. And I'm one of the worst eaters ever because I'm a junk food junkie. Junk food junkie. All right, so and I also eat all times of night, but I've gotten better, a lot better. And the other key factor, what a lot of people don't know, and I didn't really know about it either, was sleep. Getting enough sleep. You got to get enough sleep. Um, there's always going to be times where you're not going to want to sleep. You're going to want to, stay up, do whatever, workaholic, whatever the case may be. But you got to get enough sleep. Sleep is extremely important in your day to day. Sleep, rest, and stress relief. Those are important as well. Because if your stress level is high forever, yeah, that's not healthy. That's not going to help you. Some stress is good. I'm not going to lie. Some stress is good. Doesn't feel good when you're going through it, but some stress is good. Too much stress is not good. Okay. So yeah, there's that too. All right. And also talk about mental health as well. There's several mental health lines where you can, go and seek help. Okay. There's support out there for you. All right. All right, man. Excuse me, y'all. All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I plan on doing some more restaurant reviews. The last one y'all really liked. I don't do those often because I would like to talk with the restaurant before I get there and such like that. And it's not like my prime thing. My prime thing is I usually talk about movies and TV shows and such like that. But I also talk about fitness and health and everything. But I will do some restaurant reviews as well. I've been working on doing something with Chicken Bully, and they're locally here in California, but we haven't worked out all the details. But I do plan on trying to get with them and doing a restaurant review with them as well. Until then, you know what I'm saying? There's so much going on. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I think you guys are awesome. You are awesome. Oh yes, you are. You are awesome. Yes, you are. I want you to keep your head up, each and every one of you. You are awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Keep striving forward, keep moving forward. You may have to make some adjustments and some changes, and you might even be in a new environment, a new atmosphere, and you might be scared. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. Do it scared. But do it. Okay? Move forward. You can do it. I believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. Okay? But I believe in you. All right? I have a shirt that says I believe in you. And I also have another shirt that says you have to believe in yourself. Okay? Because I can believe in you, but if you don't believe in you, you're not going to be able to motivate yourself because you don't believe in you. Okay? So you got to believe in yourself. If you want to find the merch, is myfitwatch.net. I have merch there. You can check it all out. You know what I'm saying? I have my I Believe in You shirt there. I have Team Firehawk. Team Firehawk! Team Firehawk shirts there. You know, I have all of that stuff there on myfitwatch.net. You can find it all there, okay? Thank you so much for your support. I want to do some more stuff. Thank you for supporting the JB&I Show. And yeah. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.